Brazilian cuisine has European and African influences. It varies greatly by region, reflecting the country's mix of native and immigrant populations, and its continental size as well. This has created a national cuisine marked by the preservation of regional differences. Ingredients first used by native peoples in Brazil include cassava, guaraná, or section, cumaru and tacacá. From there, the many waves of immigrants brought some of their typical dishes, replacing missing ingredients with local equivalents. For instance, the European immigrants were accustomed to a wheat-based diet, and introduced wine, leaf vegetables, and dairy products into Brazilian cuisine. When potatoes were not available, they discovered how to use the native sweet manioc as a replacement. The African slaves also had a role in developing Brazilian cuisine, especially in the coastal states. The foreign influence extended to later migratory waves. Japanese immigrants brought most of the food items that Brazilians would associate with Asian cuisine today, and introduced large-scale aviaries, well into the 20th century. Root vegetables such as cassava, yams, and fruit like or section, cupa section, mango, papaya, guava, orange, passion fruit, pineapple, and hog plum are among the local ingredients used in cooking. Some typical dishes are feijoada, considered the country's national dish. And regional foods such as vatapa, moqueca, polenta and acarajé copyright. There is also cumaru, which consists of okra, onion, dried shrimp, and toasted nuts, cooked with palm oil until a spread-like consistency is reached. Moqueca cassava, consisting of slow-cooked fish, tomato, onion and garlic, topped with cilantro. And linguiça section a mildly spicy sausage. The national beverage is coffee, while canela section A is Brazil's native liquor. Canela section A is distilled from sugar cane and is the main ingredient in the national cocktail, caipirinha. Cheese buns, and salgadinhos such as pasta copyright is, coxinas, rissa cubes and quibe are common finger food items, while cuscuz branco is a popular dessert. Regional cuisines. There is not an exact single national Brazilian cuisine, but there is an assortment of various regional traditions and typical dishes. This diversity is linked to the origins of the people inhabiting each region. For instance, the culinary environment is heavily influenced by a mix of African, indigenous and Portuguese cuisines. Chili and palm oil are very common. But in the northern states, due to the abundance of forest and freshwater rivers, fish and cassava are staple foods. In the deep south like Rio Grande do Sul, the influence shifts more towards gaucho traditions shared with its neighbors Argentina and Uruguay, with many meat-based products. Due to this region livestock-based economy, the churrasco, a kind of barbecue, is a local tradition. Southeast Brazil's cuisine. Brazilian pine nuts grow in a tree that is abundant in the southern part of Brazil, and are a popular national snack, as well as a lucrative export. Rice and beans are an extremely common dish, as are fish, beef and pork. In Rio, São Paulo and Minas Gerais, the feijoada is popular especially as a Wednesday or Saturday lunch. Also consumed frequently is picadinho, and/or rice and beans. In Rio de Janeiro, besides the feijoada, a popular plate is any variation of grilled bovine fillet, rice and beans, farofa and French fries, commonly called fila copyright or Osvaldo Arana. Seafood is very popular in coastal areas, as is roasted chicken. In São Paulo, a typical dish is virado a paulista, made with rice, tuta de feijão, salted kale, and pork. São Paulo is also the home of pastel, a food consisting of thin pastry envelopes wrapped around assorted fillings, then deep-fried in vegetable oil. It is a common belief that they originated when Japanese immigrants adapted the recipe of fried spring rolls to sell as snacks at weekly street markets. In Minas Gerais, the regional dishes include corn, pork, beans, chicken, tuta de feijão, and local soft-ripened traditional cheeses. In Espírito Santo, there is significant Italian and German influence in local dishes, both savory and sweet. The state dish, though, is of Amerindian origin, called moqueca cassava. The cuisine of Minas Gerais is also strongly influential there, with many restaurants serving that fare. North Brazil's cuisine. The cuisine of this region, which includes the states of Acre, Amazonas, Amapá, Pará, Rondônia, Roraima, and Tocantins, is heavily influenced by indigenous cuisine. In the state of Pará, there are several typical dishes including, pato no tucupi, one of the most famous dishes from Pará. It is associated to the Carrio de Nazaré copyright, a great local Roman Catholic celebration. The dish is made with tucupi. The duck, after cooking, is cut into pieces and boiled in tucupi, where is the sauce for some time. The jambu is boiled in water with salt, drained and put on the duck. It is served with white rice and manioc flour. Northeast Brazil's cuisine. The Brazilian Northeastern cuisine is heavily influenced by African cuisine from the coastal areas of Pernambuco-Tibet, as well as the eating habits of indigenous populations that lived in the region. The vatapá is a Brazilian dish made from bread, shrimp, coconut milk, finely ground peanuts and palm oil mashed into a creamy paste. The barbecue de camarão poundão is a dish made with cassava and shrimps. The acarajé copyright is a dish made from peeled black-eyed peas formed into a ball and then deep-fried in tinder. Often sold as street food, it is served split in half and then stuffed with vatapá and cumaru. Acarajé copyright is typically available outside of the state of Bahia as well, including the markets of Rio de Janeiro. In other areas, more to the west or away from the coast, the plates are most reminiscent of the indigenous cuisine, with many vegetables being cultivated in the area since before the arrival of the Portuguese. Examples include barra-pound de dois, made with rice and beans, dried meat, butter, queijo coalho and other ingredients. Jaggery is also heavily identified with the Northeast, as it is carne de sol, pork section oca de pilha poundão, and bolo de rolo. Tapioca flatbreads or pancakes are also commonly served for breakfast in some states, with a filling of either cheese or condensed milk, among others. Southern Brazil's cuisine. In southern Brazil, due to the long tradition in livestock production and the heavy German immigration, the red meat is the basis of the local cuisine. Besides many of the pasta, sausage and dessert dishes common to continental Europe, churrasco is the term for a barbecue which originated in southern Brazil. It contains a variety of meats which may be cooked on a purpose-built churrasqueira, a barbecue grill, often with supports for spits or skewers. Portable churrasqueiras are similar to those used to prepare the Argentine, Chilean, Paraguayan and Uruguayan asado, with a grill support, but many Brazilian churrasqueiras do not have grills. Only the skewers above the embers. The meat may alternatively be cooked on large metal or wood skewers resting on a support or stuck into the ground and roasted with the embers of charcoal. Since gauchos were nomadic and lived off the land, they had no way of preserving food. The gauchos would gather together after butchering a cow, and skewer and cook the large portions of meat immediately over a wood-burning fire. The slow-cooked meat basted in its own juices and resulted in tender, flavorful steaks. This style would carry on to inspire many contemporary churrascaria which emulate the cooking style where waiters bring large cuts of roasted meat to diners' tables and carve portions to order. The camarão poundão is the regional beverage, often associated with the gaucho image. Popular dishes. Rice and beans is an extremely popular dish, considered basic at table. A tradition Brazil shares with several Caribbean nations. Brazilian rice and beans usually are cooked utilizing either lard or the nowadays more common edible vegetable fats and oils, in a variation of the Mediterranean sofrito locally called refogado, which usually includes garlic in both recipes and sometimes onion, or even Welsh onions, parsley, fresh coriander and/or other herbs. In variation to rice and beans, Brazilians usually eat pasta, pasta salad, various dishes using either potato or manioc, and polenta as substitutions for rice, as well as salads, dumplings or soups of green peas, chickpeas, black-eyed peas, broad beans, butter beans, soybeans, lentils, moyashi, azuki, and other legumes in substitution for the common beans cultivated in South America since pre-Columbian times. It is more common to eat substitutions for daily rice and beans in festivities such as Christmas and New Year's Eve, as follow-up of churrasco and in other special occasions. Either way, the basis of Brazilian daily cuisine is the starch, legume, protein and vegetable combination. There is also a differentiation between vegetables of the verduras group, or greens, and the legumes group, or non-green vegetables. There are Brazilians which eat both daily or the most often they can, only vegetables of one group, or none at all, which again depends on personal tastes. Salgadinhos are small savory snacks. Similar to Spanish tapas, these are mostly sold in corner shops and a staple at working class and lower middle class familiar celebrations. There are many types of pastries. Pão de queijo, a typical Brazilian snack, is a small, soft roll made of manioc flour, eggs, milk, and Minas cheese. It can be bought ready-made at a corner store or frozen and ready to bake in a supermarket and is gluten-free. Coxinha is a chicken croquette shaped like a chicken thigh. Kibe quib, extremely popular, it corresponds to the Lebanese dish kebi and was brought to mainstream Brazilian culture by Syrian and Lebanese immigrants. It can be served baked, fried, or raw. Esfida, another Middle Eastern dish, despite being a more recent addition to Brazilian cuisine, they are nowadays easily found everywhere, especially in Northeastern, Southern and Southeastern regions. They are pies cakes with fillings like beef, mutton, cheese curd, or seasoned vegetables. Pasta copyright is a pastries with a wide variety of fillings. Similar to Spanish fried empanadas, but of Japanese origin. Different shapes are used to tell apart the different flavors, the two most common shapes being half moon and square. Size, flavor, and shape may vary greatly. Empadas are snacks that resemble pot pies in a small scale. Filled with a mix of palm hearts, peas, flour and chicken or shrimp. Cuscuz branco is a dessert consisting of milled tapioca cooked with coconut milk and sugar and is the couscous equivalent of rice pudding. Or section or, cupar section U, star fruit, and many other tropical fruits are shipped from the Amazon rainforest and consumed in smoothies or as fresh fruit. Other aspects of Amazonian cuisine are also gaining a following. Cheese. The dairy-producing state of Minas Gerais is known for such cheeses as queijo Minas, a soft, mild-flavored fresh white cheese usually sold packaged in water. Requeijão pão, a mildly salty, silky textured, spreadable cheese sold in glass jars and eaten on bread. And catupiry, a soft processed cheese sold in a distinctive round wooden box. Pinapão is the pine nut of the Araucaria angustifolia, a common tree in the highlands of southern Brazil. The nuts are boiled and eaten as a snack in the winter months. It is typically eaten during the festas juninas. Risoto is a rice dish cooked with chicken, shrimp, and seafood in general or other protein staples sometimes served with vegetables, another very popular dish in southern Brazil. Mortadella sandwich, sugar cane juice, mixed with fruit juices such as pineapple or lemon. Angu is a popular side dish. It is similar to the Italian polenta. Arroz com piqui is a traditional dish from the Brazilian Cerrado, and the symbol of center-western Brazil's cuisine. It is basically made with rice seasoned on piqui, also known as a açaí nut, and often chicken. Also noteworthy are, special ethnic foods and restaurants that are frequently found in Brazil include Arab cuisine, local variations of Chinese cuisine, Italian cuisine, and Japanese cuisine. Pizza is also extremely popular. It is usually made in a wood-fire oven with a thin, flexible crust, little or very little sauce, and a number of interesting toppings. In addition to the traditional Italian pizza toppings, items like guava cheese and Minas cheese, banana and cinnamon, poultry and catupiry, and chocolate are available. Traditionally olive oil is poured over the pizza, but in some regions people enjoy ketchup, mustard and even mayonnaise on pizza. On Rio de Janeiro, for instance, a servant might be surprised if someone asks for olive oil instead of ketchup, more traditional regionally. Broa, cornbread with fennel. Drinks. Canela Section A is Brazil's native liquor, distilled from sugar cane, and it is the main ingredient in the national drink, the caipirinha. Other drinks include mei tea, cumaru pound o and terera copyright, coffee, fruit juice, beer, rum, guaraná and betadas. Guaraná is a caffeinated soft drink made from guaraná seeds and betada is a type of fruit punch. Typical and popular desserts, Brazil has a variety of candies such as brigadeiros, cocada, beijinhos and romeu e julita. Peanuts are used to make por section noca, rapadura and par copyright de malek. Local common fruits like or section or, cupar section u, mango, papaya, cocoa, cashew, guava, orange, passion fruit, pineapple, and hog plum are turned in juices and used to make chocolates, popsicles and ice cream. Typical cakes, par pound o de mal, bolo de rolo, bolo de senora, bolo prestigiato, bolo de fuba, bolo de milho, bolo de maracujá, bolo de mandioca, bolo de queijo, bolo de laranja, bolo de banana, other popular and or traditional desserts. Fig, papaya, mango, orange, citron, pear, peach, pumpkin, sweet potato sweets and preserves, often eaten with solid fresh cheese and or doke delight. Quindim, brigadeiro, biscoitos de maizena, beijinho, cajuzinu, cocada, alo de sogra, pudim de par poundo with dried orange slices and clove, manjar branco, doke delight, arroz doke, canjica, romeu e julita, goiabada with white cheese, torta de lima poundo, par copyright de malek, por section noca, pudim delight, brigadeiro poundo, rapadura, doke de banana, maria mole, pamonha. It can be savory or sweet. Papo de anjo, or section or nautagila mixture with bananas and cereal or strawberries in cereal, avocado cream, daily meals. Breakfast, after the first the cassava copyright da mana pound. Every region has its own typical breakfast. It is common to find tropical fruits, typical cakes, tapioca, couscous, grilled ham and cheese sandwiches, bread and butter, mortadella, ham, cheese, requeijão poundo, ham and cheese, ham and requeijão poundo, smoked turkey and cheese, smoked turkey and requeijão poundo, honey, or jam, and the drink can be sweetened coffee, juice, hot chocolate, cassava copyright light, or sweetened tea. 11s or brunch, are squared the lanche da mana pound. Juices, fruits, light sandwiches, crackers and cookies are the most common snacks if one eats a breakfast really early at morning, while others may eat a more hearty lunch-like meal if they didn't have breakfast at all. Midday dinner or lunch, are to the first the amo section no, normally this is the biggest meal. Rice is a staple of the Brazilian diet, albeit it is not uncommon to eat pasta instead. It is usually eaten together with beans, boiled dry legumes and some other kind of protein, and may be served together with farofa, polenta, salads and or cooked vegetables. Tea, are squared the lanche da tarde, it is a meal had between lunch and dinner, and basically everything people eat in the breakfast, they also eat in the afternoon snack. Nevertheless, fruits are less common. Night dinner or supper, are to the first the jantar. For most Brazilians, jantar is a light affair, while others dine at night. Soups, salads, pasta, hamburgers or hot dogs, pizza or repeating midday dinner foods are the most common dishes. Late supper, are squared the ceria. Brazilians eat soups, salads, pasta and what would be eaten at the 11s is if their jantar was a light one early at the evening and it is late at night or dawn. It is associated with Christian holidays, for example. Are to the first main meals, that are served nearly everywhere, and are eaten in nearly all households above poverty line. Are squared secondary meals. People usually have a meal at the tea time, while 11s and late suppers depend in peculiarities on one's daily routine or certain diets. Restaurant styles, a simple and usually inexpensive option, which is also advisable for vegetarians, is comida a kilo or comida por kilo restaurants, a buffet where food is paid for by weight. Another common style is the all-you-can-eat restaurant where customers pay a prefix. In both types, customers usually assemble the dishes of their choice from a large buffet. Rodizio is a common style of service, in which a prefix is paid, and servers circulate with food. This is common in Kursk areas, resulting in an all-you-can-eat meat barbecue. The regular restaurant where there is a specific price for each meal is called restaurant à la carte. Vegetarian. Although many traditional dishes are prepared with meat or fish, it is not difficult to live on vegetarian food as well, at least in the mid-sized and larger cities of Brazil. There is a rich supply of all kinds of fruits and vegetables, and on city streets one can find cheese buns. In some cities even the version made of soy. In the 2000s, São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro and Porto Alegre have gained several vegetarian and vegan restaurants. However, outside big metropolises, vegetarianism is not very common in the country. Not every restaurant will provide vegetarian dishes, and some seemingly vegetarian meals may turn out to include unwanted ingredients. Commonly meat is understood to mean red meat, so some people might assume a vegetarian eats fish and chicken. Comida por kilo and all-you-can-eat restaurants prepare a wide range of fresh dishes. Diners can more easily find food in such restaurants that satisfies dietary restrictions. See also: List of Brazilian dishes, culinary art, references. External links: Brazilian barbecue supplies.